वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं विनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृष्णं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनीं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं। वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरो वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरो। I hope you have brought this grammar book. Brought no grammar? Then okay. All right, we had seen the story that the king is chasing a deer, and deer sometimes is going out of his sight or very hardly visible. Then Raja asked, why it has happened like this? Hardly the deer is visible. Then he said, Ayushman, O king with long life, now the land is uneven and therefore I had reduced the speed. But now you see, now we have come to very smooth land and therefore you will see the speed. And so you will see the deer. All right. Then he said, you please release this tena hi muchyantam abhishavaha. Reins you, may you release. And then he releases the reins and then the horses are running very fast. The description of fast running horses is given. Mukteshu rashmishu nirayata purvakaya निष्कम्पचामरशिखा निभृतो द्वकर्णाः आत्मोद्धतैरपि रजोभिरलङ्घनीयाः धावन्त्यमी मृगजवाक्षमयेव रथ्याः. Here the main sentence is Rathyaha amihi ami Rathyaha dhavanti. That is the main sentence. These horses are running. That is the main. Now, in which situation they are running and what is their condition, that is described. Mukteshu rashmishu. When the reins, the rope released, Mukteshu means released. Nirayata purvakaya. Those whose front part, purvakaya means front part of the body is nirayata, stretched out. Horses whose forefront or the front part of the body is stretched out. Nishkampa chamara. In your book it is chamara is there? Chamara? Huh? Chamara shikhaha, whose crest, shikha, crest of the chamara, the chauri, see that horse will have some decorative piece on that top, it will be having some hair like thing. So chauri means that particular hair. So it will be like a feather and it is nishkampa. So they are running so fast that the shikha, that crest is, chauri crest is nishkampa, motionless. With such a speed they are running. So horses whose crest of the chauri is motionless. Nibhrutordhva karnaha. Those whose the ears are steady and raised, erect. The horses whose karnaha nibrutaha urdvaha cha. Nibrutaha urdvaha karnaha yesham. Ashvanam te nibrutordhva karnaha. The horses whose ears are raised but steady, and atmodhatehi api rajobihi alanganiyaha. They cannot be overtaken by the raja, the dust, which are raised by, uddhata means raised by themselves. So what is the imagination? That they are, when they are running on the path, dust will be raised. Those dust also are not able to catch them. That much. Atmodhatehi rajobihi alanganiyaha. Those who cannot be overtaken even by the dust particle which are raised by them. Alright. And dhavanti, they are running, ami, these horses. And upama is given. Mruga java akshamaya iva. Iva means as though akshamaya, with intolerance, as if through intolerance to java, the speed of deer. Means they cannot bear that a deer is running fast. So, through intolerance to the speed of deer, they are running very fast. Rathyaha means horses. Ratham vahanti iti rathyaha. Ratham vahati iti rathyaha, or ratham vahanti iti rathyaha. Those who are drawing the chariot, they are called rathyaha, horses. Alright. So it is just description of the horses which are running very fast, as if through the intolerance to the speed of deer. Alright. Anvaya. Mukteshu Rashmishu Ami Rathyaha Nirayata Purvakayaha Nishkampa Chamar Shikhaha Nibrutordhva Karnaha Atmodhatehi Rajobihi Api Alanganiyaha Mrugajavakshmaya iva dhavanti. Alright. The translation would be, when the reins are loosened, the chariot horses run through or because of the intolerance to the speed of the deer, with the front part of their bodies well stretched out, with the chowri crest motionless, with their ears steady and erect, not being overtaken even by the dust raised by themselves. All right. Now, so the horses are running very fast, means chariot is running very fast, and the king is describing the effect of the speed of the chariot. That is called poetry. So that's how. So the king is having very, what is called, exciting, wonderful experience when the horses are running fast. See, sometimes our car is going fast, no, there is some extra thrilling in there. So you feel some extra thrilling. Therefore some people drive very fast. They get some thrill. So Raja himself is not driving, but he is wondering how things are happening. So very poetic description is there. Yada loke sukshmam vrajati sahasa tad vipulatam. Yadadha vichinnam bhavati krita sandhanamiva tat. Prakrutya yad vakram tadapi samarekham nayanayoho. Name dure kinchit kshanamapi na parshve rathajavat. Can you try to sing? Try. No? Cannot? This is tune, you know this? What tune? There is one stotra, which is very popular in North India. So those who know that, they will be able to relate to this tune. All right. But there is some other South Indian tune also, but I forgot that. Because North Indian tune is very well set. In Kailash Ashram they sing like this. Therefore it is there in my mind. All right. Yada loke Yat aloke sukshmam vrajati sahasa tad vipulatam. Yad adha vichinnam bhavati krita sandhanam iva tat. Prakrutya yad vakram tadapi samarekham nayanayoho. Na me dure kinchit kshanam api na parshve rathajavat. So he says, Ratha Javat, because of the speed of the chariot. So because of the speed of chariot, what all he is experiencing, that is describing. Yad aloke sukshmam vrajati sahasa tat vipulatam. What appears, aloke means appearance. Yat means whatever thing. Aloke in appearance. Sukshmam, very small. Sahasa, all of a sudden. Tat, that thing. Vrajati, attains. What? Vipulatam, magnitude, bigness. So in appearance, what was looking small now attains bigness. So what does it mean? See, when you are far off from something, the thing looks very small. But when you are going with a fast speed, the same thing becomes very big all of a sudden. Because now you are close by. When something is very far off, it looks small. And when you go nearby, it becomes big. So this chariot is running so fast that what was looking small earlier, just for 1 minute ago, now it looks all of a sudden very big. So what was aloke mean in appearance? What was very small in appearance, that thing attains bigness, sahasa, all of a sudden it becomes big. Yad adha, adha means really, vastutaha. Vichinnam bhavati, that which is split, is broken, in between things are there. Vichinnam bhavati means broken, split. Tat, that thing, krita sandhanam iva, as if it is joined. Krita sandhanam is joined. Iva, as if it is joined. So what is there is like two things. Two things are separately there, but it appears as if they are joined. So that which is really split appears to be joined. Prakrutya yad vakram. By nature, what is crooked, certain trees, etc. are crooked. Tadapi, that also. Nayanayoho, to our eyes. Samarekham, straight. It appears straight. And Name Dure Kinchit. For me, nothing is far off. And Kshanamapi, even within a moment. Na Parshve, not in front of me. Not near me. So nothing is far off from me, nothing is near me. Means what? What is looking far off is immediately coming. And what is looking near immediately going away. So now nothing is far off from me, nothing is near to me. So he said, he is describing that is the speed of the chariot. So you can imagine what must be the speed. Ratha Javad. Because of the speed of chariot, whatever is faram, whatever is duram, it appears, it becomes very nearby. Whatever nearby again becomes far off. So this is the speed. Alright. Anvaya. Yad aloke sukshmam abhut, we have to supply. Tat sahasa vipulatam vrajati. Yad adha is avyaya. Adha is avyaya. Vichinnam tat kritasandhanam iva bhavati. Yat prakritya vakram tadapi nayanayoho samarekham. Samarekham is straight. You have to supply bhavati. Ratha Javat me kshanamapi kinchit na dure na parshve bhavati. Ratha Javat can come in the beginning also, but last also it can come. Alright. The meaning is, on account of the speed of the chariot, that which is minute in appearance, suddenly attains magnitude. That which is really split in the middle appears as if it was joined. That which by nature is crooked appears straight to the eyes. Nothing is at a distance from me or for me, even for a moment, nor near to me. Alright. Now next. Suta. In your books, Suta is a takara is there? Eh? Suta halat? Hal is there? It should not be. Suta. Suta pashya enam vyapadyamanam. So now speed is there, so deer is very close by. Therefore he says, hey Suta. Who is saying? Raja. Raja says, oh driver, pashya enam. See this. This is what Raja is. No? He cannot do it. He said, see this. This means deer. Pashya enam. See this deer. Vyapadyamanam. Vyapadyamanam means being killed. May you see this deer being killed. Then Sharasandana. But don't worry, it will not be killed, okay? So you may think, why Swamiji, we are talking about this. Not going to be killed. Sharasandanam natayati. He acts the aiming of arrow. Shara means arrow, Sandana means aiming. He acts the aiming of arrow. Means he does this like this, taking out and do like this. Some acting he does. Sharasandanam natayati. Natayati means acts. Alright. Then all of a sudden, what happens? Nepathe. Remember, this is a drama. So they have to give all the instruction to enact. Therefore, the nepathe means in the background, behind the scene. Bho Rajan. This is a peculiar, as the speciality of drama. So you will not see, you will hear only sound. Bho Rajan, O king, Bho. O king, ashramam mrugaha ayam. This is the deer of the hermitage. Ashrama means hermitage. Na hantavyaha. Should not be killed. This is the deer of the ashram. You cannot kill. Na hantavyaha. Sutaha. Now Suta is responding. Akarnya avalokyacha. Having heard this sentence and avalokya, seeing the situation, he is telling the Raja, the driver is telling the king, Ayushman, O king with long life, Asya khalu te banapathavartinaha krishnasarasya antare tapasvinaha upasthitaha. He is reporting, because he is in front so he can see better. He says, Asya krishnasarasya antare means between this Krishnasara means spotted black deer. Krishna means black, dark, and Sara means Shavala, means spotted, some dots are there. So dark and also dot, the spotted. So between this black spotted deer, who is Banapatha Vartinaha, who is falling within the range of, falling within the path of your arrow. Means this deer which is within the reach of your arrow. So Banapatha Vartinaha, who is remaining in the path of your arrow. Means it is within your reach. That deer and you. Between you and the deer which is within the reach of your arrow, tapasvinaha, antara is avyaya, in between. Between you and the deer which is within the reach of your arrow, tapasvinaha, ascetics, hermits, upasthitaha, have come. So now they have come in between. Between deer and you, means they are our chariot. They have come in between. They are standing in between. Raja. Sasambramam. Sambramena saha vartate. Sambramena saha vartate sasambramam. Yatha syat tatha. So with the haste. So with haste he is telling. Hastily. So bhayadi janita tvara is called sambrama. Sasambrama means along with the haste out of fear. So with haste out of fear, he says what? Tenahi pragrihyatam vajinaha. Because of that reason, vajinaha means horses. Vajam asti yasya. So those who have got speed is called the horses. Vajina horses. Pragrihyatam should be restrained. He indeed. So because of that reason means what? Since these tapasvis have come in between me and the deer, therefore because of that reason, vajinaha, horses should be restrained. Indeed. Definitely they should be restrained. Means stop them. These tapasvis should not be hurt. Sutaha tatha. Tatha means Let it be so. Yatha agnapayami tatha karomi. That is the meaning. Tatha. Tatha astu. Let it be so. Means, yes, I am restraining the horses. Ratham sthapayati. He stops the chariot. Then what? Tataha pravishati atmana tritiyaha vaikhanasaha. Tataha means thereafter. When he stops the chariot, then enters. The drama is there, no? So he enters. Vaikhanasaha. Vaikhanasa means vanaprasthaha. The hermit is called Vaikhanasaha. There is a derivation. Vikhanasam brahmanam veti. Tapasa veti. One who does the upasana on the Hiranyagarbha is called Vaikhanasa. So Vanaprastha is called Vaikhanasa. So Vaikhanasa pravishati enters. And he enters with other two. But it is not said he enters with Dvabhyam Saha, he doesn't say. You know why? There is a poetic expression. What? Atmana Tritiya, Aluk Samasa. With himself, three. He is the third. Atmana Tritiya. With himself, he is the third one. So he is the third one with himself. Along with himself means along with other two. So Atmana Tritiya, translation would be what? Along with the other two. But see, Tritiya is said, but still meaning is that. So who is become the third with himself? Means other two, with the other two. Is Aluk Samasa. Atmana Tritiya means along with other two, this a hermit, an ascetic enters. Alright. Then Vaikhanasaha, that Vanaprastha, that hermit, he is telling, Hastam Udyamya, having raised his hand. Udyamya means raised. Having raised his hand, he said, Rajan, O king, Ashrama Mrugaha Ayam. This is the deer of ashrama, hermitage. Na hantavyaha. Should not be killed. And now, all people they talk in shloka only, no? So he says, Nakhalu banas sannipatyo yamasmin. Mruduni mruga sharire pushparasha vivagdihi. Kvabata harinakanam jivitam chatilolam. Kvachata nishita nipata vajrasharasharaste. Try that. Nakhalu banaha sannipatyaha ayam asmin. Mruduni mrugasharire pushparashau iva agnihi. Kvabata harinakanam jivitam cha atilolam. Vacha nishita dipataha vajrasaraha sharahate. He says, Nakhalu. Not indeed. Banaha, arrow. Sannipatyaha, should be dropped, should be made to fall. Means should not be released. Ayam, this banaha, this arrow which is there on your bow. Asmin mruduni mruga sharire, on the body of the deer, which is very soft, tender. On the tender body of the deer, this arrow should not be dropped. It will be like what? Pushpa rashau iva agnihi. Your arrow falling on the body of that deer would be Iva, like Agnihi, fire, on Pushparasho, on the heap of flowers. On the heap of flowers, fire is falling. How terrible it would be. So similarly will be your arrow. Your arrow will be like fire on the body of the deer. And he says, Kwa bata? Bata means alas. Kwa? Where is harinakanam jivitam cha atilolam? Where is the atilolam, very frail, transitory, momentary, jivitam, life, harinakanam, poor deer. Kutsit arthe. So poor deer, where is the life, frail life of this poor deer? Kvacha, and where is your sharaha, te sharaha, your arrows, which are what? Nishita nipataha, which are very sharply falling, which are, dishita means sharp, nipata means falling, which are sharply falling. Where are your the arrows which are sharply falling, and vajrasaraha, which has got hardness like thunderbolt. Vajrasya saraha iva saraha yesham te vajrasaraha. The arrows which have got the hardness like thunderbolt. So where is the life of, the frail life of the deer, poor deer, and where are your arrows which are sharply falling and hard like, having hardness like of thunderbolt? Alright. Anvaya. Mruduni aspin mrugasharire ayam banaha pushparasho agnihi iva nakalu sannipatyaha. Full stop. Bata Kvacha atilolam harinakanam jivitam kvacha nishita nipataha vajrasaraha te sharaha. Alright. The meaning is, not indeed, must this arrow be made to fall or must be dropped. This arrow must be made to fall. Not indeed, must this arrow be made to fall, or not indeed, this arrow to be dropped upon this tender body of the deer, like fire upon a heap of flowers. Alas, where is the very frail life of deers, poor deers, and where are your sharp falling arrows that have the hardness of thunderbolt? Alright. Now, next shloka is very simple. Is our Anushtup Chanda. Tatsadukruta sandhanam pratisamharasayakam artatranaya vashastram na prahartumanagasi. You please read again. Is written properly, no? Tat sadhukruta sandhanam pratisamhara sayakam artatranaya vaha shastram na prahartum anagasi. Tat means tasmat. Therefore, Pratisamhara, withdraw. Sayakam, arrow. What type of arrow? Sadhukruta sandhanam, which is very well aimed at. The arrow which is very well aimed at me, which is very well aimed. It means you have really put it in a proper position. So that arrow which you have already aimed. So may you withdraw that arrow which is very well aimed. And that is the request. And then in the next sentence he says, Vaha Shastram, your weapon, Arthatranaya, for the protection of distressed. Na prahartum anagasi. It is not meant for, prahartum means hurting, killing. Anagasi, it is not meant for throwing, striking at anagasi, at the innocent. Anagasi means what? Na vidyate agaha papam. Saha anagasaha. So one who does not have papa is called anagas. Anagasi is a saptami of anagas shabda. Anagasi. Nasti agaha aparadaha papam yasya saha anagaha. Anagaha. Chandramaha like that. And taspin. So may you withdraw that arrow which is very well aimed. And your weapon is meant for the protection of the distressed and not meant for striking at innocent. Alright, Anvaya. Tat sadhukruta sandhanam sayakam pratisamhara. Vaha Shastram, Vaha means yours. Vaha Shastram Artatranaya Bhavati. Anagasi Prahartum Na Bhavati. Alright. So Raja, he is the king. And generally for Kshatriya to withdraw the arrow is a very big thing. They feel very bad about it. When arrow is put means it has to go only. But when these hermits, when they tell, they have to do it. So immediately says, Eshaha pratisamrutaha. This is withdrawn. This arrow is withdrawn. Yathoktam karoti. As he has said, he is doing. Means he has to act it, no? So, yathoktam. As he has told, he enacts. Then Vaikhanasa is very happy. He says, Sadrishametat, it is not a shloka, Sadrishametat Purvamsha Pradipasya Bhavataha. So, this is befitting. Etat means this act. This act of withdrawing, Sadrisham, very befitting. Bhavataha, for you, who is Puruvamsha Pradipasya. Sadrisham etat Puruvamsha Pradipasya Bhavataha. This act of withdrawing the arrow is befitting to you, who is the light or the lamp of the family of Puru. There was a great king called Puru. So this is very befitting to you, who is the light of or the lamp of the family of Puru. Alright. Dushyanta, Raja is Dushyanta. Now shloka comes. Janma yasya pururvamshe yukta rupamidam tava. Putramevam gunopetam chakravartinamapnuhi. Okay, please read. Janma yasya. You have got Puror Vamsha is there? Refa is there? Okay. Janma yasya Puroho Vamshe Yukta Rupam Midam Tava. putram evam gunopetam chakravartinam apnuhi. So this, when the Raja did this, what they can give him? Ashirvada. So they can give only Ashirvada. So they give Ashirvada immediately. What? Yasya puroho vamshe janma, whose birth, janma, birth, is in the family of Puru. You, Tava, for you, whose birth is in the family of Puru, idam, this act, yukta rupam, appropriate gesture. This act is appropriate gesture. And for that Ashirvada is what? Evam gunopetam chakravartinam putram apnuhi. May you attain, may you have a son who is chakravartinam, who is destined to be the sovereign king. Chakravartinam is sovereign king. Chakram, Prithvim, Chakram, Prithvi Chakram, Tena Vartate iti Chakravarti. So one who is the king of the entire earth is called Chakravarti. So may you attain a son who is evam gunopetam, endowed with this type of qualities which you have exhibited, and Chakravartinam, the universal monarch, sovereign king. So may you attain the king endowed with such qualities and who is destined to be universal monarch or sovereign king. So who, that Vaikhanasa, one leader, he gave this Ashirvada. So other people also joined. That is the style. Itarau, the other two. Bahu Mudyam, raising their hands. Sarvatha Chakravartinam Putram Apnuhi. Sarvatha means by all means. Apnuhi is a Lotlakara, Madhyama Purusha Ekvachanam. Apnuhi, may you attain. Putram, a son who is Chakravartinam, who is going to be a sovereign king. May you attain a son who is going to be a sovereign king. Raja, Sapranamam, with salutation, Pratigrihitam, accepted, your blessings are accepted. Otherwise he said, no, I don't want a son. So therefore he said, Pratigrihitam is accepted. Then Vaikhanasaha, that hermit, is telling, Rajan, Samvida Haranaya Prasthitaha Vayam. We have set out, we are proceeding Samvida Haranaya, for bringing these twigs for sacrificial fire. We are, Samid means not ordinary wood, the wood which is to be used for fire ritual. So he says, Samvida Haranaya Prasthitaha Vayam. We have set out for bringing that firewood or the wood for sacrificial fire. Eshaha Khalu Kanvasya Kulapatehe Anumalini Tiram Ashramaha Drishyate. Esha, this Ashramaha Drishyate, this ashram is seen. Whose ashrama it is? Khalu means indeed. Kanvasya. Kanva is the name of Rishi, Kanva Rishi. Of Kanva Rishi. And who is he? Kulapatihi. Kulapati is like Vice Chancellor. What university have? Vice Chancellor, that is Kulapati. And there is a definition of Kulapati, who is Ayuta Shishya Poshaka. He should have 10,000 students. Then only he can be called Kulapati. Or Munishwaraha. Another meaning is Munishwaraha. Muni Kuleshwara is called Kulapati. Muninam Kulanam Patihi. One who is the leader of many families of the sages is called Kulapati. So this ashram which is seen is of Kanva Muni, the Rishi or Kanva sage, who is the Kulapati, who is the leader of many families of the sages, or who is a vice chancellor. Anumalini Tiram, on the bank of the river Malini. The Malini is the river of, name of the river. So on the bank of river of Malini, this ashrama is seen, which is of Kanva Muni, who is the Kulapati, who is the leader of the families of sages. And very, very sophisticated way of invitation. Nached anya karyati pataha. If there is no obstruction of other duties, nachet, if that is not there, anya karyati pata. Atipata means obstacle. If there is no obstruction of other duties, means if you don't have any other job, means any other appointment, then pravishya, having entered into that ashrama, pratigruhyatam, please accept satkaraha, hospitality, atitheyaha, atitheya means which is due to the guest. May the honor, satkara has mean honor also, hospitality or honor, may the honor which is due to, which is appropriate to the guest be accepted having entered into the ashram. Means please enter into the ashram and may you receive the honor, hospitality which is due to, which is appropriate to the guest. Alright, so with this our lesson last 27th lesson, no? It is completed. With this Antonine also completed, everything completed. Now everything not completed, this was completed. And I am very thankful because I had the work done by Sunita Amma and Swami Vishwatma ji. So I could get some help. So my preparation time was less. Till today I got so much delayed because so much was there in this and I wanted to complete today. So by God's grace we could complete. So now Sanskrit part is over. So next week we will have some other thing to be done. That I will announce. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Regarding this